Anime fans, One Piece fans, what is good? The answer to that question, of course, is One Piece. One Piece is what's good. And today I'm going to be talking about one of the more recent chapters, or actually the most recent chapter, which is chapter 979. And I want to propose to you guys the possibility of Zoro fighting the Toby Robo member Who's Who. So, in this last chapter, it basically was confirmed that the Beast Pirates are a meritocracy. So, it's like the strongest are at the top, and you move up via strength and not necessarily respect from Kaido or something like that, because, well, you do, because strength is respect in Kaido's eyes, but it's not much having to do with favor and more having to do with strength. Of course, there's probably some favor playing into how things run, but mostly it's just based on strength. And we now realize that just because you're an all-star doesn't necessarily mean you're the strongest member of the crew. It just means you haven't been toppled yet. Now, I will say that because the all-stars are still at the top, that probably means the others aren't really stronger than them, but definitely possibly on their level. So, basically, King got Kaido to call in all the Flying Six. And King's like, I thought they might be necessary to help you with your problem. And Kaido basically was like, you right. And he said to the Flying Six, basically, bring my idiot son Yamato back to the banquet, because I got a lot of stuff to do in this banquet. And at the end of the banquet, I'm going to make an announcement that involves him, and I need him to get over here. So he basically said to the Flying Six, I want you to go get my son. And Black Maria said, basically, that sounds challenging. Like, she's like, getting Yamato is not going to be easy. So I don't know if it's because Yamato's really good at hiding, or if it's because Yamato himself is a beast if he's strong. I don't know if Yamato's a full-grown man or a legitimate child. We don't know any of these things. But the point is, it's going to be difficult for the Toby Robo to go after him, according to Black Maria. But the thing is, I think it was Who's Who, or was it Sasaki? I forget which one. One of the Flying Six, though, they said, what's in it for us? And Kaido says, I'll let you directly challenge one of the All-Stars. And they're like, oh yes, then we're gonna go after him. And that makes you realize that these Toby Robo, at least some of them, are confident in their ability to take on the All-Stars, which means the All-Stars, as I said before, might not necessarily be the strongest. It could be that the Toby Robo, or some of the members, were waiting for the chance to be able to challenge them and take them down, and because of this chance to bring back Yamato, that gives them the chance they needed. So the reason I went on that tangent was to just prove that the Toby Robo are not to be slept on, and they are all monsters, every single one of them. And now let's get to why I think that Who's Who might end up battling Zoro soon in the series. Like, I'm not saying in the far future. I'm saying, like, I don't know if it's going to be a clash or a battle, but I'm relatively confident that Who's Who and Zoro will have a meet up. Like, they're gonna meet, and they might cross blades. And yes, I said blade, because in chapter 978, when the Toby Robo were introduced, we saw that Who's Who had a katana next to him. Like, so that shows us that Who's Who is a swordsman, and he uses swords, obviously. He uses the katana. And why do I think he's gonna fight Zoro? Because there are a lot of people with swords in Wano, right? It's a swordsman country, so just because Who's Who has a katana doesn't mean he's gonna automatically fight Zoro, right? King has a katana too, and we don't know whether or not Zoro's gonna fight King. It definitely could happen, but that's a whole different discussion. Why am I saying that Who's Who and Zoro are going to fight? And one simple reason. We found out in this chapter, Zoro-san got lost. And when Zoro gets lost, he winds up in the most important and unlikely places. And since Yamato is going to be hard to find and hard to catch, according to Black Maria, that makes me think that since Zoro's lost, he went after Luffy, but obviously he's not with Luffy. We even saw he wasn't with Luffy. He's probably going around the palace or around Onigashima, and he's lost. He doesn't know where he is. I think he's probably going to run into Kaido's kid. Like, I just see the setup. That's something Zoro would do. Kaido and all his all-stars and headliners and Toby Robo, they're scrambling to find this dude, and Zoro just runs into him by chance. I believe that's what's going to happen. I think a lot of people agree with me. I saw a lot of other people saying that. I just think that Zoro's probably going to run into Yamato, just considering his history. And so, if Zoro's chilling with Yamato, I don't think they're gonna get off on the wrong foot, at least initially. Especially if Yamato's a kid and not an adult. I don't think that they're gonna start fighting. I think if Zoro runs into Yamato, they're probably just gonna be chilling. So if the Tobiropo go after Yamato, especially Sasaki and Who's Who, because they seemed especially excited to take down the All-Stars. So the chance of being able to take down the All-Stars will probably send them going after Yamato with double vigor, and any of the other Tobiropo who want the chance to take on the All-Stars. So if they're going after Yamato, say Who's Who, the guy who really wants to find Yamato and who has a sword, stumbles upon Yamato, like he finally finds him, and then he sees Roronoa Zoro, and we know that Who's Who and Sasaki used to be captains, so it could be that Who's Who does know who the Straw Hats are, or probably he does, but Zoro is probably somebody easily recognizable to him, or maybe he'll just realize he's not part of Kaido's crew, and if that happens, I feel like they're gonna start fighting, you know what I mean? At least have some sort of clash, because Who's Who does have a katana. We saw it next to him, and Zoro, obviously, he fights swordsmen. So I know that's not a ton of backup, not a ton of credibility. That's just a little bit of headcanon on my part. I just think that could happen because, you know, Zoro runs into Yamato. Who's Who finds Yamato finally. Maybe he's with Sasaki. Maybe he's with another member of the Flying Six. And then he's like, hold up, you're Roronoa Zoro. You're not part of this crew. Kaido wants you out. And he goes after Zoro, or maybe Zoro goes after him, or maybe Yamato, this could be another possibility, maybe Yamato's like to Zoro, no, I don't want to go, I don't want to go, if he's a kid, maybe he's crying about it, or something like that, and Zoro's like, hold the heck up, don't make this kid go somewhere he doesn't want to go, and then he stops the Flying Six, or gets in their way, and since Who's Who has a sword, that could definitely be the member of the Tobiropo he ends up fighting. Now, of course, this could go for any of the other Tobiropo. Maybe Zoro's not going to fight the one with a sword. Maybe he just fights one of the members of the Tobiropo, or maybe multiple of them. But I just think that Zoro's going to have a run-in with the Tobiropo, and considering Who's the one with the sword, it's probably going to be Who's Who. So that's basically it for this theory, for this video. I know it wasn't the most backed up thing I could come up with, not the most backed up theory, but I think it could happen. I could see it happening. So y'all tell me what you think of this in the comments. If you think that Zoro's gonna fight Who's Who, or if you even think he's gonna run into Yamato or the Tobiropo in the near future, in the near chapters, I'd love to hear your thoughts on that. Thanks for watching this video. Like this video, please. If you want to, subscribe, turn on notifications for more One Piece content, all of that good stuff. And yeah, I'ma see y'all in the next video.